It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 392. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. It is our last episode of the year.
Of 2024.
Yes, we are taking next week off because we record on Wednesdays. Christmas is on a Wednesday.
And we're going to just take the day off.
Yeah, I mean, we normally take that week off.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes we do New Year's and sometimes it kind of depends on where they fall.
Yeah, for sure. Because sometimes the way Christmas falls, it's like, oh, we might as well just go ahead and do one and then we take New Year's off.
We're sitting there doing nothing anyway.
Yeah. But yes, so there will be no episode this week. So if you're a Patreon member, maybe parcel out your bonus episode accordingly.
Ooh.
There's a lot in the bonus.
Is there?
There
I haven't even looked to see how you split it up this week yet.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. You've got OPP outrage over custom workouts.
Oh, that was my favorite.
we have you don't even know this one's in there. I found this article and added it to the bonus.
I just read it. Holy cow.
Can going to the gym give you chlamydia?
My goodness.
So
what are you doing at the gym?
Well, I don't go to the gym.
I know.
So
it was a royal you.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's a sumo squat, I'll tell you. So
that it is. I almost spit my hot tea everywhere.
Ooh, she's got the tea, literally,
and it's super piping hot.
Normally, it's just figuratively, but now it's literally. We're also going to talk about an article about why this person has decided to get rid of their smartwatch.
We are, and I have to say that one of our Patreon members, Liz, sent this to us.
Yeah,
and she also suggested this would be a great discussion with Dr. Jin, and I agree with that.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it, but the next time we record with Dr. Jin, this will be on the agenda.
We will add it to the list. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then also, obviously, instructor updates and stuff that we don't have time for in the episode, one of which, Susie Chan getting lots of year-end accolades.
I told you her book was good, man.
Yeah. We will talk about all that in this week's Patreon. So that's the bonus episode that you're missing. I bet you this week's is a long one.
I bet it is.
Is my guess. So what, pray tell, do you have in store for people this week?
Well, we have an interview with Shawn Sarnaik, and she is quite active in the Beast community. You might, if a person listening pays attention to leaderboard names, it's Ludicrous Speed. And I have been like leaderboard friends with Shawn forever.
Yeah.
Just got to meet her for the first time face to face.
In real life.
In the IRL,
as the kids say.
And what a delightful human being
Shawn
is.
Yeah.
So we have a great interview with her. We're going to talk about this new 100-day challenge that Peloton is kicking off for January 1st. We're going to talk about Cheers to You, winter studio closures, Dick's Sporting Goods having a sale, what's going on with the German members having buffering times on their live classes. We also have, as you said, instructors in the news. Jess Sims, recovering from surgery. We're going to talk about that. Rebecca Kennedy out, Cody Rigsby out. The instructors are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
And there is a really fun Instagram post that I found that features Peloton instructors, sort of. We'll get to that. But there's just a lot of really fun stuff in this episode. So we're going to talk all about those things, and Robin Arzon speaking at the White House, not to mention Kristen McGee. I know she's a past Peloton instructor, but she has a very cool guest residency we're going to be talking about. And Tonal is up to some really fun stuff.
They are.
So we're going to talk about some competition, and we got lots of content. And in case you missed it, stuff.
Okay, well, before we get to all that, shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you're there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful and greatly appreciated. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/the the clip out while you're there. Like the page, join the group. You can, what else? Oh, our Patreon, as we mentioned before. So not only do you get bonus episodes every week, well, except for next week, but not only do you get bonus episodes with all sorts of extra content, but you also get ad-free episodes. And if we get them early, you get them early. So last week, I bragged about how early the episodes had been coming to us
And it was
lately.
like someone heard you.
It was like one of the editors listened and they were like, well, no.
Yeah. Oh, we've been overshooting. Got it.
Well, we'll pump the brakes.
Yeah.
So it got to you out a little bit later last week.
But still ahead of...
But still ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So you can also sign up for our newsletter at theclipout.com, which comes out mostly weekly. I forgot to send it out this week.
Hey, you got it out.
But I sent it out. I normally send it out on Monday mornings. I sent it out on like Tuesday evening.
But it went out.
That's
right.
So that's where we send all the links and stuff that we mention in here, so you don't got to go hunting them down or digging through our Facebook posts or Crystal's Instagram posts. They just come to you. It's boom, boom, boom. One email, you can find them. And then finally, don't forget, you can watch all of these episodes over on YouTube at youtube.com/theclipout. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
Well, this is a delightful change of pace because normally, why are you giving me?
Because I don't know why you care one way or another.
Because normally when we talk about these challenges from Peloton, it's like, and they started 4 days ago.
That's true.
And they finally have announced one with enough lead time so people can decide to do it and not have missed the first week of it.
Yeah, I suspect that they're really working on their metrics to talk about how engaged members are.
Yeah.
This is really the only actual reason that they would do the streak in December, followed by a 100-day challenge. But hey, I'm all for a challenge, so it doesn't matter to me. I love, a new badge and focus for 100 days. I can take it.
I'm going to start issuing you challenges, creating badges for you.
I'm worried. People can see your eyebrows. Put them down.
Filthy badges. So this is their 100-day challenge, and it starts on January 1st.
Yes. 100 days straight.
Day one, workout hungover.
Well,
here's... Hanged over? What's the proper grammar there?
Hungover.
Okay.
I definitely know.
I got
this.
You're like, oh, I've done this one. It's hungover.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
But it's important that we remember that, it's any kind of activity, including meditation.
Yes.
Including restorative yoga, which you literally just lay there. So my reason for saying that is you can recover. You don't have to work out hungover on January 1st.
Okay.
And in fact, really...
It was already your plan?
Working... No, we don't really do anything.
We really don't.
We're so boring on New
really
Year's.
are.
Yeah. We'll be lucky if we make it to midnight, honestly.
We rarely do.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at Express Scripts, we kind of had to get out of the habit because not that it was ever a big habit, but I used to do something for New Year's until then. And I blame it on that because then we got out of the habit.
Okay. As long as it's not blaming it on me being old.
I mean, you said what you said. I do not think you're old. But anyway, no, the thing is that if you probably shouldn't work out hard for 100 days straight.
Yes.
And when I say shouldn't, you just shouldn't.
Right.
You should not do that.
Yes.
You need to work in recovery days, and it's okay to do nothing but a meditation. It's okay to do nothing but a nice leisurely stroll outdoors. That counts too. So, take it easy.
Absolutely. Peloton has also released their Cheers to You year-end message right on your equipment.
Yeah, so I guess that I probably should have explained to you what this was.
Sure.
It's the cool down, what the cool down used to be, but now it's called the rundown. So in other words, it's like Strava's year in review.
Okay.
Or like Spotify's year in review.
Okay.
And it used to be really cool. They used to tell you all kinds of really fun stats, not only about you, but about the community. And it was really neat. Now last year's was like, woof.
I remember now people being like, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sad. This year is better.
Yeah.
But not back in the day awesome.
Gotcha.
Not Strava level, that's for sure. So my guess is that is a cost savings measure.
Probably. Yeah.
It makes sense, right? But I did.
Because they make each one by hand.
Right. But it does take like an algorithm that's got to be set up.
I'm sure.
You know, I did get
what they need.
Oh my gosh.
Is an algorithm that creates an algorithm, and then it's done.
Then it's all done. It's just easy peasy. But what I was trying to say was I did get mine just before we started.
Okay.
Now, here's what I mean about not awesome.
Okay.
What did I spend the majority of my year doing?
Running.
Right. Is there anything about running on here?
Based on your tone, because I know what the unhappy tone sounds like.
It says I traveled 573 miles, which is probably true, but it shows a freaking bike.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it says that I rode 2 kilometers. And maybe that's true. I barely rode this year. So
that's next to nothing.
I know it is.
You've done more.
I feel like I have too.
Because 2 kilometers is like, what, 3 miles?
Yeah.
Like that's like one workout.
I know.
That can't be right.
I definitely have rode more than one time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now, my calories burned is nice because that's 107,533.
Okay.
So I feel good about that. But seeing somebody on a bike...
Right.
When it's adding up my bike and my running is just depressing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I should have had some kind of call out for the fact that I ran my ass off this year.
For sure.
Literally. I mean, it's back now, but there was like a brief moment it was gone. And so I feel like I should get some recognition. Now, I did get like you get a fitness alter ego.
Okay.
Depending on what you did. My fitness alter ego was Roadrunner. So I did get some recognition
for the running.
For that. Yeah.
Glad they didn't give you that the year you got hit by a car.
I know.
You'd have been like, maybe this algorithm's a little too good.
Yeah. Like I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that's a little weird. But there were 50 million high fives given, 461,000 members trained for a marathon. I was one of them.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty cool. There was another stat here, 250 million PRs set this year. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So I have also received year-end stats.
Okay.
I got mine.
Oh, this ought to be good.
From Fandango at Home.
You probably watched more movie minutes than I did miles.
The badge I received was Cinema Connoisseur.
Ooh.
Yeah. And my 2024 year in review, I rented or bought, but who are we kidding? I bought.
Yeah. You bought.
113 movies and TV shows.
Yeah, that tracks.
My favorite genre.
That's like 2 a week, honey.
Well, they're on sale. They're sales. So when I buy a movie, it's like renting one because I wait till they're on sale.
Okay.
I rarely pay more than $5 for a movie.
Okay.
I mean, that's still not nothing, but then we own them and can watch them whenever we want. My favorite genre was comedy. Shocking, I know. My favorite day to shop on Fandango at Home was Friday.
Really?
I've spent time streaming movies and TV shows.
Oh, dear.
19 days, 20 hours, and 36 minutes.
Almost a whole month.
Yeah. Now, I think some of that, though, is because I was trying to think, like, we were watching a show that we bought through. So when we watch TV shows that we buy through Fandango, I think we watch one of our classic sitcoms.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
I don't know.
Golden Girls.
Does it matter?
Was Cheers this year? Because Cheers is like 11 seasons. That's a lot.
Are you trying to figure out how to justify?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's not just me watching movies all by my lonesome. Like
No. It's definitely us watching TV shows too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Cheers. It seems like optimistic on your part, but maybe.
It's 11 seasons.
I know. I mean, just this last year, we watched Cheers, Golden Girls. We're in the middle of Newhart. Sorry, just Newhart.
Just Newhart.
Just Newhart. My bad.
Yeah.
Did we watch Barney Miller this year too? Because I feel like we did.
I don't remember if that was this year or not.
I think it was this year.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was this year. So that's just the highlights that I can remember. Oh my God. We watched Bosom Buddies.
That did not hold up. It was not good.
No.
Sorry. I loved it at the time. Not good.
No.
So anyway, there are my stats. I just want to share my important statistics like you get to share yours every year.
Okay.
The winter studio closure is upon us.
It is. It's going to be no live classes all next week. And then I think it's like the 3rd, it starts back up again. I could just look at the link.
So brace yourself for a week of why aren't there any
no
live classes? What is going on? I think they went out of business.
Yeah. So 12/23 through 1/1. That's the dates.
Yes.
So yeah. Yes, you will get a lot of that. You will also get where is so-and-so instructor? I think they quit.
Oh, yes.
Or they've been fired. There's that. And I pay so much money per month. How dare they?
No one should ever get a day off.
You know, the oldies but goodies.
Yes. There's a sale on dicks. That's what it says here in my notes.
No.
So if you're looking to pick up an extra dick or two.
I purposely worded that appropriately. You are purposely making it not appropriate.
Oh, what? Discount dick? Is that what I should say instead of sale? Is that how I made it inappropriate?
There are no dicks for sale. There are Pelotons for sale at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Like dicks are, I guess, for rent. You can't buy dicks anymore.
I mean, there's all kinds of ways to get things done. But anyway, Dick's Sporting Goods
might get a badge.
Is having a sale and $100 off Peloton bike, $200 off Peloton tread. And if you're a Dick's Sporting Good scorecard member, you get a $150 Dick's gift card with an in-store purchase or pickup of a Peloton bike. That is only valid through the 24th, Christmas Eve.
Like to see those year-end stats. There is a hotel in Santa Monica. Santa Monica?
I don't know. I was just going to let you go.
Now I got that Everclear song stuck in my head. But
that's such a good song.
It is a good song. They are introducing Peloton-themed rooms.
Yeah. Themed. That's right. It's a sleekly designed hotel just steps from the beach.
Ooh.
Hashtag not an ad. This is just in Forbes magazine. They have 267 rooms and suites, and they all feature large windows that take advantage of the California sunshine. You get proper beds that are covered in Bellino linens, and you get an expansive state-of-the-art gym that is open 24 hours, and it has signature strength cardio functional equipment, whatever the hell that means, and Pelotons. But I guess these Pelotons are like in the room because the pictures show
a bike in the room.
Yeah. They like show it in the room. So it says work out in the privacy of your room. So there you go.
Okay. Great way to watch the world die.
From the song.
Yes. German members are facing increased buffering on live classes.
Yeah. So apparently there's some kind of issue with the provider. So CDN is the provider, or I'm sorry, between CDN provider and the member's ISP, which is causing increased buffering when they take live classes. So Peloton has reached out to the providers for support, and that was yesterday. So far, there's no update. Hopefully it'll be resolved by the time people hear this, but it's important to know.
Absolutely. And coming up after this, we got instructors in the news. We're going to give you updates on all of the instructors that are currently out. There's
quite a list,
quite a few. And we'll have some information on Jess Sims recovering from surgery. So sit through this.
Instructors in the news.
Jess Sims will be out for an indeterminate amount of time.
Well, I think it's in January she's coming back, I think is what she said.
For a determinate amount of time?
Yeah. So she had a surgery on her medial meniscus last week.
And what is that?
It's in your knee. It's really all you need to know.
Okay.
It's a piece of your knee that often breaks.
Gotcha.
It's the same piece of her knee that broke when she was a junior in college. And it has broke again. And so she had to have surgery on that. And she is thinking she'll be back. I thought I read January, but maybe I'm mistaken.
I tried to scan it and I didn't see it, and I gave up, moved on.
Okay, well,
It's my dedication.
you're a winner.
It's the last one of the year.
That's true. But she was being super transparent about like, hey, this happened. Just wanted to let you guys know, let you know why I'm off the platform. And also she's like, I tell you guys to like push through and rest and take care of yourself. And now I get to practice all those things.
That's what she's telling herself to calm down. I did notice that she mentioned, because you were talking about earlier about streaks and that don't just have to be working out. And she was saying how she was going to keep her blue check mark streak alive with things like meditation and whatnot.
She said she was going to start doing upper body strength tomorrow. So she's not obviously ready to start putting weight on the knee and things like that. And she shouldn't. But I just thought that was great. She's like, I will keep doing the things I can do.
She'll come back in January with Tunde arms.
She's already got Tunde arms.
Speaking of instructors that are out, Rebecca Kennedy is out with COVID.
Yeah. She's going to be back this weekend, but she's been out for like a week and she's been miserably sick. She said, and this is all public information. This was on her Instagram, not breaking any HIPAA laws.
Well, it wouldn't apply to you anyway.
I know, but you know how people are. But she was saying that she had never gotten COVID this bad. Like she said she was horizontal for days, that she didn't even like see the light of day.
Wow.
Like it was bad. She felt icky. And I just thought that was really interesting because she's had COVID before. She's done all the things. And also when you think of instructors, they're pretty darn healthy. They take really good care of themselves. So it's just like, oh, the strain that's going around must be a real icky one.
Yeah, I know my boss at work has it right now. And
how is she doing?
Kicking her butt.
Is it?
Yeah. And she did the same medical study that I did. So she's gotten all her shots
she did all the things.
Like a good Cocker Spaniel. And
I'm sure she'd love that reference.
I feel pretty confident she's not listening.
Yeah.
And so, it's been really bad. So I don't know.
Great. We got that to look forward to.
Keep waiting for my moment in the sun.
I think you better knock some wood.
Thus far, I've danced between those raindrops and not gotten COVID. So
you have.
Make of that what you will, but I have had like 45 COVID vaccines.
I was so worried I was going to get it just before the marathon. I was so paranoid about that. But I didn't. I made it through.
Yes. And speaking of instructors who are out, Cody Rigsby is out for a month. Now, his is just vacation.
He's just out on vacation. He's enjoying some sunshine at the beach and just letting people know. It's his rotational. I mean, he said a month, but a lot of instructors are out for 12 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
When they're out.
Right.
So who knows what will happen with him.
Good for him for trying to get out in front of rumors. Not that it will stop them.
No, they'll still do it.
People something to point to be like, that's not true.
Exactly. It might be Cody that I was thinking of for the January thing, not Jess Sims. I might be conflating those two in my head. That could have been what happened.
People mix those two up a lot.
Yeah.
That happens quite frequently.
So similar.
Yes. If you have not subscribed to our newsletter, this will be reason, I think, for many people to finally break down so they can have this link sent to them. It's from Waldo Rescue, which is an animal rescue, I think, specializing in dogs. Mm-hmm. And they have named all of the dogs that are currently in residence after Peloton instructors.
Such a smart move because SEO on their website will bring in people that would not normally see these dogs.
For sure.
And I think that's really cool. Got John Hosking, Alex Kowalski. I saw Aditi Shah in here. There's just Jess King is in here, and they're all adorable. And Adrian Williams is even in here, and Tunde. I mean, Bex Gentry.
Yeah.
The whole gang is here. So if you are looking for a special little member of your household, this could be a great way to do it. WaldosRescue.org. But we're also going to have an article because we love every excuse to talk about not only Peloton instructors, but cute animals. So
I have noticed.
Yeah.
Camila Ramon over on the TikTok shared multiple TikToks.
So on Instagram, the reason I found this is because I barely pay attention on TikTok. I just post my stuff and move on. But she posted on Instagram, I have my whole journey laid out, and she put them. She made a playlist on TikTok, and she put the videos in order on the playlist.
Gotcha.
So the link that we are sharing is that playlist.
Okay.
So it's got 8 different videos that are going to go through the whole process.
And again, not violating HIPAA.
No.
This is information she has chosen to share.
Yes.
We're not digging through the dumpster at her condo.
That would be so freaking weird.
It would be.
Ooh.
So... But I know people sometimes get really weird when you start talking about people's medical stuff.
They do.
So this is something she decided to share. So it is out there. So if you're interested in that, it's over there for you on the TikTok, or you'll get it in the email, take you right to it.
Yeah.
We had not 1, not 2, but 3 Peloton instructors go undercover.
Yeah, so they were at the Peloton Studios apparel store, and well, I don't know if they were in that location or a different one, but they were in there and just chatting with the different customers coming in, and they were posing as if they worked there selling the equipment.
Right.
And so these people had no idea that they were instructors.
So did nobody really know who they were?
I mean, the ones they showed in the videos did not look like they knew. And
which isn't out of the realm of possibility, right? Because if you're coming in to buy a piece of equipment, then there's a good chance you haven't started your Peloton journey yet.
Or maybe you've started your Peloton journey on the bike, but none of these were bike instructors.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know if we listed them, but it's Allie Love.
Well, okay, Allie is a bike instructor. The rest are not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Allie. I didn't know if we listed them all, but Allie Love, Adrian Williams, and Rebecca Kennedy were all doing that.
Yeah. And I thought my favorite part about this was that they challenged people to get discounts for doing things. Like one lady, they were like, okay, however many burpees you do, you're going to get $10 off. So you do 1 burpee, you get $10 off. You do 2 burpees, you get $20 off. And the lady got like $100 off. And then another lady, they had her doing deadlifts for the same thing. And I just thought it was so fun. And then, I'm sure at some point they revealed what they were doing. Right. But, and then they were pretending that they were like calling the manager over, and like they would take turns acting as the manager.
Okay.
So like Rebecca Kennedy would be like, we need a manager over here. And here comes Allie Love. Oh, yeah, give her that free outfit. We should totally do that. So if you happen to be in the store that day, boy, you had a great day.
Quite the treat.
Quite the treat.
Jeffrey McEachern is part of a show that you can watch on Amazon Prime.
So I didn't get a chance to watch the preview that's on Amazon. So I'm not exactly clear what this is about.
So it's called Dare to Defy. And I just went through the picture carousel, and it looks like it's some sort of race or marathon of some sort that's for people with various disabilities, because I saw people with missing limbs and people in wheelchairs, things like that. So it seems like that's what this particular event is for. And it's, I believe, a 3-part docuseries.
Okay. Well, that is really cool. Congratulations to Jeffrey to be part of that. That's really neat. We'll have to add that to our list so we can watch it.
Yeah, that's
3 episodes.
3 episodes over on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, who doesn't?
I know, right?
Have Amazon Prime.
I mean, even if you only signed up for it for a few months, this time of year, it's like crucial.
As much as Amazon can be problematic, it's really difficult to swim against that tide.
It is.
Yeah.
If I had known how things were going to go, I would have maybe done things a little differently, but here we are.
And finally, for the instructors in the news segment, Robin Arzon spoke at the White House Conference on Women's Health Research.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's the last one, right?
Probably. I mean,
sorry. I got snarky.
You did. You also got political.
Yes. But that's cool. She's over there doing that. It is
really cool. Yeah, I think that's really neat. I saw some of the other instructors. I didn't get a chance to include it, but I saw at least a couple other instructors made it to the White House this week. So I don't know if it was part of this. I couldn't tell from the images.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if it was for a different event. But the White House was like all decked out in all the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And wow, just really cool.
And coming up after this, we're going to tell you about the latest artist series. We're going to tell you where Krista McGee did her guest residency. You might be a little surprised. We'll also give you all sorts of new classes and stuff to check out, so stick around.
Peloton artist collaborations.
So I guess this is the last segment where we're we're just done now? It says see ya. So we're just leaving?
No.
What?
No, it's the artist is named Sia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably heard a couple of her songs.
I honestly don't know if I have.
Oh, yes, you have.
I know the name, but
Unstoppable. There is zero chance you've not heard that
I
song.
feel like I've been stopped.
Okay, I literally used it as the background music when I did my marathon video. So if you didn't watch that, I'm angry at you.
I watch everything with the sound off.
You have absolutely heard the Sia song Unstoppable. Like, I promise you. It's like it's like almost a decade old, if not a decade old. And like it was everywhere. You could not hear it. Like, it's everywhere.
Okay.
Trust me.
I trust you.
It. Well, you look skeptical.
I'm skeptical.
Well, then you don't trust me. Getting very upset now. Now I'm going to make you sit through these classes. I'm going to turn them on, and I don't care how loud you make your headphones. You're going to have to listen to them. I'm going to be down here anytime you work out listening.
And I'll be like, see ya.
Well, at any rate, there are 9 different classes that are being taught by instructors. But then in addition to that, there's also 3 lane break classes. There's a ride, a walk, and a run that are all going to be done for lane break with us. That's really cool.
I guess so.
It is.
I like, you know, I'm Spotify. I'm in my own little playlist bubble. So it's all like,
yeah, I know,
classic rock.
I know, and this isn't that. It's
90s alt rock.
It's pop, but I mean, there's
Monkeys.
It's just impossible that you did not hear this somewhere, because it was during that time where you hadn't listened to everything on Spotify yet. Like your entire world was not on Spotify. So I promise you heard these songs.
Okay. Kristen McGee did a guest residency at Equinox.
Good for her.
Look at that.
You know,
and it's the Equinox that's right next to the Peloton studios, because they took a picture right outside of like that Hudson Yard weird statue thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good for her. Here's the thing. I was reading the snark that happens over on Reddit, and it's so ugly. But like, people were talking about like, what's the worst thing Peloton did this year? Because of course it's got to be the worst thing. Can't be the best thing.
For sure. It's the internet.
And the worst thing by far, mentioned over and over and over again, was letting Kristen McGee go, letting her get away. Not Kendall. No, Kristen McGee. They were like, it was bad enough when you let go of Ross, but Kristen McGee was the final straw for so many people. Wow. I couldn't believe the vitriol that was there, and like how much they miss her. So good for her. Yeah. And I really do hope, they figured out a way for Callie to come teach classes once a month. So work something out with Kristen. Yeah. Make her a guest person and come back.
I was surprised that we heard this in the past tense, not leading up to it.
Well, it's possible I missed it. I try to stay on top of it.
You have a lot to keep track of.
I do. But also, if I see something like this, at the very least, we mentioned it on the bonus episode. Right. But I did miss it. So I think it's really cool that she did it. And I'm glad. She said she was there for a whole week, and I bet she had a lot of fun. And I bet a lot of Peloton people got to visit her. So that's cool.
Tonal has announced their training lab.
Yeah, this is fun. It's going to be a Tonal pop-up. So I suspect that this is only going to live for like a month, is what I'm kind of thinking.
That would make sense.
And so they're going to be teaching classes live, and people can book time to come in and do a Tonal class. First time ever. Yeah. Tonal's been around since 2018 now. And this is the first time that members could like book a spot and go in. They've had a couple of special options for people. Right. But this is the first time you could book a class. And so it starts the week of January 13th. And that whole first week, it's all full already. It's all down to wait list. But the second week is still showing that there are options you can still book. And it's $40 a class. And if you were on their wait list, you were able to get in for free. So for the first week, members only week. But after that, I think you got to pay $40.
Gotcha. Which that's
nothing. Yeah. So how cool. It's right in Soho, if you're wondering.
Gotcha.
Not that I have any idea where that is in relation to anything else. But it's in Soho.
And we signed up.
We did. I didn't know if we were telling people.
Sure.
Okay.
So we're going to go I will take my first ever live class.
I know, ever. It's like freaking crazy. Oh my God, years in the making. I'm so excited.
But it will be a tonal.
It will be a tonal.
Yeah.
Well, and we're just going to pop in for the weekend and pop right back out.
Yes.
So
we will also be popping up.
We're going to pop into the pop-up.
Yes.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5 where you tell us classes and then we tell you classes and then we see if they match.
Okay.
Is that
not even close, but I'm just going to move on.
Okay. So hang on. I forgot to click the link so I can read them. Luckily, we have fast internet now. Okay. Number 1, your favorite run.
Okay, so this is a holiday run that Andy Spear taught, and it was...
Is that antlers? Is he a reindeer?
Yeah, I think that's what he's got going on there. This is from December 7th. It was a 30-minute holiday run, but here's the deal. 2020, we're going back in time.
Oh.
Yeah, and so Tammy Armstrong pulled this out of...
Hang on, Tammy. What is wrong with you? Who would go back to 2020?
It was a rough year.
Like, oh my word, Tammy. 2020.
Okay, she just wanted to take the class. She didn't want to revisit. It's funny. It's so funny. Tina even said, who wants to go back to that year?
Well, I agree with it.
Well, Tammy wanted to take it because it is part 1 of Andy's adventure with Rudolph. And part 2 is the rest of the story that's told in his 30-minute holiday full body strength class from this year.
Oh.
So there you go.
Okay, so that's how she got roped into going back in time. She wanted to see
exactly. She wanted to hear part 1.
Okay.
And she said it's a must-take for Andy's hilarious holiday story, which kept me entertained and laughing the entire time. And I loved that he incorporated the use of Tread Plus free mode. Holy cow! Nobody's used free mode in like 3 years. So how cool is that?
Apparently 4.
Yeah, I was given some overlap adjustment there.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really fun.
Okay, number 2, your favorite ride.
Okay, so this was recent. This was December 12th, and it was Cody's Backstreet Boys ride. We had a lot of people mention how amazing this ride was. Carrie Pickett Martin said it was so much fun, a great combination of their most popular songs with some of their lesser known songs. Great to sing along, and Cody was hilarious as always. I have heard that, in fact, Katie Bromley says snarky Cody was back, and I have heard multiple people say that. Like Cody, as people love him at his peak, he was that for this class.
Gotcha.
So none of it is my jam, but I am so happy for people that get those little moments, like because that like brings that cohesion of people. They coalesce around it.
Well, you know, it's probably 1, hard to always be in that mode.
Of course.
And then 2, I'm sure that like the bigger he gets, like you also, there are people who love the snark and then there are people who hate the snark.
Well, he clearly hasn't completely tamped down his snarkiness, or he wouldn't have a podcast called Tactful Pettiness.
Yeah.
And he does like some Instagram show with some girl. I don't know who she is, and I don't even watch them because it's just none of it I am the demo for. It's just I am not the person. Yeah. But they're like, they do videos all the time and they're very snarky and like really like that's him all the time. Yeah. So I've never taken any Cody classes in the history of time on a regular basis. I think throughout my entire like almost 9 years now, I think I've taken maybe 3 classes with Cody. Maybe. It might only be 2. So yeah, it's just.
And one of them was an all for one from a million years ago.
I don't count those, but yeah, they definitely was. That might have pushed me over into 3.
Okay, speaking of 3. Number 3, your favorite holiday ride.
Well, we're going to go back in time for this one, too. This was a holiday ride with Bradley Rose, but it was from 2023. Okay. And for all you haters, All I Want for Christmas Is You is absent. I know you do not agree with that sentiment.
I think that song is great.
I do, too.
Like, I get that people might feel like it's overplayed.
Yeah.
But it's overplayed because it's arguably the greatest Christmas song ever written.
I love that song too.
And I know it's very basic to love that song now.
Yeah.
It always mystified me when that song came out because I was like, this song is brilliant. And then there was like a 5-year, 8-year period where you barely heard it.
And then
For some reason, after sitting there, like getting barely played for 8 or 10
probably
years,
the kids,
it just blew up.
the next generation came along and discovered it and was like, oh, this is amazing.
Because I was always like, why is this not in heavy rotation at Christmas time?
You feel that way about Train.
I think Train's Christmas song,
Shake It Up.
Shake Up Christmas.
Shake Up Christmas, yeah.
I think that is also a great Christmas
It is a
song.
great Christmas
that
song.
deserves way more play.
Well, Sonia Norman took this particular class, and it is pop punk Christmas music. So it's a great ride to take if you want a holiday ride, but also want to change a pace from the music that's typically on the holiday ride playlist.
It's not necessarily pop punk, but it is alt rock. Local H's version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
That is good too. Also, the one you play, it's on your Christmas awesomeness list, and I am the skank.
Real Big Fish, Skank for Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I know that people who listen to that type of music have probably already heard that. But for people who want to hear something different, I feel like that fits the bill as well.
I have a Spotify playlist called Christmas Awesomeness.
Yes.
If you want to look it up. And it's lots of traditional stuff, but also mixed in stuff like Real Big Fish and the Ramones, of course, the Monkees.
And we listen to it every year, and it grows every year.
Just find a few more songs that I'm like, oh, that's good. And that makes the list, and I add it there. So, but number 4, your favorite holiday strength class.
Okay, so Rebecca Kennedy's first entry for today. This was taught on December 10th of 24, and it was a 20-minute holiday arms and shoulder strength. Lori Lorenz took the class and saying that Rebecca created a whole persona of Sandra Claus and cracked her up while burning out her arms and shoulder with lighter weights. Great holiday vibes.
Okay. And then finally, your unstackable.
Our second entry from Rebecca Kennedy, which I think it's been a while since we've had an instructor hit 2 in the same list.
Right.
This is, you have to go into the 3-day split. Rebecca did a 3-day split, and that's the only place you can find it. So if you're looking for this class, you will only find it under programs 3-day split. Okay. I tell you that because you're going to want to take it back on July 26th of 2024. It was a 45-minute legs and core with Rebecca Kennedy and Linda, Yogi Lee Lynn Spins.
Okay.
She recommended this class. She described it as brutal. She said the class includes all kinds of squats, lunges, and deadlifts with an emphasis on using the heaviest weights possible to reach muscle atrophy. The EMOM finisher for this class is a pendulum swing with a single heavy weight. I think my heart leaves my body every single time at this point in the workout. The core section is equally ambitious. This class is definitely unstackable other than stacking it with a trip to your masseuse.
And I guess now let's take a look at this week in Peloton. We're going to start with your year in review, walk and talk with Maddie.
Well, I mean, who doesn't enjoy a walk and talk with Maddie? And he's going to be talking about the biggest moments of 2024. So we're going to be talking pop culture. There's going to be major events. And he's going to have all of that, of course, while you're walking. So it's a lot of fun. And then there's going to be some other featured classes this week, a 30-minute pop punk bar with Allie Love, a live outdoor hip hop run with Kirsten, which, by the way, we're thinking she's probably regretting given that the high in New York is something like 17 degrees. And then there is, of course, the 30-minute Gloriously Gospel with Cliff. And that is on the 22nd as well.
In case you missed it.
Peloton, this is quite a coup for a collaboration with Peloton. Jess King has collaborated with Peloton.
They haven't done one since like 2017. So it actually could be quite a coup. And she had a little name brand that I don't think she uses anymore for that specific, clothing.
Right.
Back then, you have to remember all those capsule collections sold out so fast.
Right.
That one did as well. That was the cat suits and things.
Okay.
It was not my jam.
Yeah.
And so now this is Under the Disco Ball, and it cracks me up because one of the items in it is a lounge coat, which I don't care what you call it. It's a freaking robe. And I mean, it's like a puffy Pufferson robe.
Yeah.
Like you would not want to be in perimenopause or menopause and wear this robe. Like you could not because the hot flashes.
Sweat right through it.
You could. Yeah, for sure. But the way that she styles it is to be hanging on a disco ball while wearing the coat over a sports bra
Okay.
and some leggings. And you know what? Again, not my jam. Pretty colors, sparkly, but the coat has got to go. Has got to go. It's ridiculous. It's a freaking robe. Call it what it is. Lounge coat, lounge robe, whatever.
Now who's snarky?
Oh, I am definitely snarky. Yeah. Well, fashion is like that. You know, they take things that are just like really normal.
Right.
And then for no reason at all, they just make it something else.
Yeah.
And it's just, it looks like a robe. And like
how bell bottoms became boot cut.
Yeah. Well, bell bottoms are a little wider, but I get your point.
Yeah.
The thing about this is that unless you are a waif, you're going to look terrible in this thing. Like, don't buy it. Like, do not buy it. Floor length and puffy. Why are you adding weight? Why? Why would you try to sell me something that makes me look bigger? No. I know a lot of people feel the same way I do. They may not be as adamant or passionate about it, but they feel the same.
Okay.
I guarantee you.
They being Peloton, also has a collaboration with Sleepy Jones. Now, I am not as familiar with this instructor. I don't think we've talked about him or her very much.
We have not, because
far,
it's not an instructor. It's just a brand.
Sleepy Jones has already been let go?
Already.
But he or she was everyone's favorite instructor. It's all over the OPP, the outrage.
I am equally underwhelmed with this collaboration.
Not
Could
since
care less.
Daniel McKenna have people been so shocked at the firing of an instructor. Poor Sleepy Jones.
At least Sleepy Jones is not going to make me sweat constantly like that coat robe thing. But yeah, this is not my jam. But if it's yours, you can find it under Wellness Essentials, and you can get some cute pajamas. They don't even have a Peloton logo on them that I can find.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not for me. But that's good. Saves you money, Tom.
You know what won't save me money is an apparel sale.
It probably will, because honestly, I have just been so not into the apparel for the most part.
Gotcha.
And what
a shame.
What I did enjoy, I already bought. So
before it was on sale.
No, it actually was on sale, and I've only I think I've only purchased two things in this entire year. I bought stuff whenever it was marathon season, and they had their marathon collection.
Right.
And then most recently they had a teal, like sparkly Lululemon scuba half zip hoodie. And I bought that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I have a lot of exercise clothes, and I just can't justify it. And that's saying a lot, because I can justify pretty much anything.
Well, they have stuff on starting at $29.99.
They do. And today they announced that it was 50% off site-wide. It still says exclusions apply.
Sure,
so
they always do.
Don't get too excited. But hey, it's a great time to buy. There's a lot of stuff on sale right now.
And coming up after this, we've got our interview of the week. We're going to talk to Shawn from the Beck's Beast group.
Yes.
So stick around.
Checking in with the Peloton community.
Joining us today via the magic of ZoomTube is Shawn Sarnaik. Hey, Shawn, how's it going?
Hello.
Oh, you did it. That's perfect.
We always ask
Tom.
we always ask how to say the name right before we hit record, because that's about as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we do, because there's been times we've had a whole conversation after we've asked the name, and then it's gone. We got to do it again.
Yeah.
If we waited too much
Absolutely.
longer, I wouldn't have even got Shawn right.
Right? Exactly. And it's nowadays, it's such a guy name too. So I always get like, oh, wait, what's your name? Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's just me.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Well, if you have listened before, which it sounds like you have, you know that I always start with the conversation how you first originally came across Peloton. I know it's been a while for you.
It has. So I remember seeing back in 2016, right, their holiday ads. It was like the first time they were like on TV and did commercials, and things were rough in my life. Like we have twins, and they were incredibly sick and ill. We were really hard times going to the hospital, ER, all this stuff. So I looked at my husband and was like, I think I really want that. And then I was like, no, it's at that time, right? It's like almost $2,000. I was like, that's a lot. But then the Black Friday kind of came out, and we ordered it, and it was here. And then it's been nonstop since then.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And we usually wait till later on, but for people who are listening and who might, I think, have been on the leaderboard for a long time, they're going to probably recognize your leaderboard name. So tell us about your leaderboard name and how you came up with it.
So not to bore you guys, but so I am embarrassingly ludicrous speed on the leaderboard. So this, I mean, right back in 2016 when we bought the bike, my husband was like, they're telling me to set you up with, a screen name or leaderboard name. And I was like, I have no idea what this means, right? And so it's like, you can just pick something, it's fine. And he's such a dork. And he's like, oh, I know what we're going to do. You're going to be ludicrous speed and I'm going to be ridiculous speed. And so, I mean, at that time, right? I knew Spaceballs a little bit, but so I was like, fine, whatever. And then there were so little of us on the leaderboard, we would get shout outs more regularly, right? So then it just stuck and I couldn't get away from it because I didn't want to change it. And then people not know I changed it. It became a whole thing. So I was like, all right, that's fine. But now that I've transitioned to the tread, right, it's just been more and more funny and ironic because I am the opposite of speed. I am hanging on the leaderboard way down low, just hanging there.
Ludicrous speed doesn't necessarily mean a lot.
That's true.
Right? It could,
That's true.
Be a ludicrously low amount of speed.
But that's actually, okay, Tom, perfect. Deal. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I mean, you're always above me on the leaderboard when I see you. So like, you might feel like you're slow, but I'm just saying, I feel like you're selling yourself short because you're definitely faster than I am. So
no. Well, we're there. We're showing up.
That's right.
That's like, right. So that's why I love this community. Cause like, even though wherever we are, we're there together and we're doing it.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
That's the best.
And now, were you always into exercise? It sounds like it was like in your, okay.
Yeah. Right. So I've been thinking about this because I'm such a dork. This goes back like even to like I really tried my best to get on my high school tennis team, and I'm not like selling myself short here. Like when I tell you I suck, it was like horrible.
You're like Tom. You're like Tom striking out at T-ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It would just go right past me. But I always showed up. And so I remember our coach was like, okay, for tryouts, guys, you're going to have to run 1 mile. And like, this was like huge, right? You're in high school, 1 mile or 2 miles, something like that. And I got out there in my little neighborhood and ran every day to try to prepare for this. And none of the other girls really prepared. So when I got there, I was actually able to just do it. I mean, again, I came in like, who knows where I came in on the pack, but I at least didn't die. Okay, that was my criteria.
Not dying, top of the list.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. And so, I mean, I went to a small high school, and so the coach just felt bad for me and was like, okay, fine, we'll take you. Like, you just keep showing up. Like, well, it's fine. So I like rarely played. But that's where like I did. I've always loved kind of athletics or being fit. And then I was always that person that wanted like that cool infomercial thing, right? Like, I mean, whatever it was, the Tybo, the Nordic track thing, I like felt like I had to have that because that was going to change everything.
The Thigh Master.
Yeah.
The Thigh Master. Oh my God. And that crunch one, right?
Yeah. The app, was it the Ab Master? It was Ab Master.
Yes. Ab Master. You guys are good. Yes.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about like what radically different experiences a coach can make, right? Because like you're like, I'm really bad at sports, but my coach was like, but you're trying. And so I like you. And where I was really bad at sports, and they were like, you're wasting our time.
Get out of here.
And I was just like, okay, I want nothing to do with any of this.
That's such a good point. That is really a good point.
Tom, I never thought about it like in that way. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
You're right.
If that coach had treated you differently, Like it could have completely turned you off of any sort of physical activity.
You could have not been exercising all this time. Look what you would have missed out on.
You look like me.
Yeah.
You have no hair and a goatee.
Secretly trying to do your exercises and pretending you're not doing anything. Just changing miraculously in front of our eyes. No, I don't know what you're talking about. But you're right. Actually, that's so true. And so and to kind of turn it full circle, actually, now that you bring that up, it's kind of an aha moment. I mean, that's what Bex is about. And that's why I'm here today and doing things that I never thought is possible, because she is so supportive and it really believes in all of us and is yes, you can do this. And yes, forward is a pace. I don't care where you are, we're going to do it. So that's so true.
Well, you kind of sell yourself a little bit short because you got up there and motivated Bex at the Bex Beast meetup. You made her cry, and I mean that in a good way. You were very touching. You took her words and gave them to her, and I mean that's a gift. If you think about the fact that she's motivating and inspiring all of us every day, and you took that and you flipped that around on her, and I know she was worried about doing those 7 marathons in 7 days. What a gift you gave her. That was really amazing. It really was.
Oh, girl, that means so much to me. But I mean, I didn't do anything special. That was all of us being there, showing up in that community. That's just, and she's the amazing person that brought all of these cool people together, right? I think it takes such an incredible individual to bring out those people with like mindsets and that supportiveness and that there's no competition. There's no, we just want to hold each other up. And I think that it all stems from her.
It is true. I mean, I have seen a lot of different instructors groups. I've been in a lot of different instructors groups, and not that I dislike any of the instructors, but there's a different vibe in each group. And and the vibe that's in the Bex Beast group comes from Bex. It invites the people who love her classes, and so all of those people have that same vibe, and it's a very, very positive place. It's really really nice. Yeah.
Oh, good. It's so good. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah. So, you need to join. You need to come.
Yeah, you.
What would I do there?
Okay, listen. You can walk. Forward is a pace.
But I'd have to use a Peloton to do it. I don't do that.
You can walk outside.
Yes. No, exactly. Perfect.
So how did you become so involved with that group?
So, I mean, from day one, I had pre-ordered the tread, right? And I was actually
Tread or Tread Plus? You were Tread Plus?
Tread Plus.
Okay.
Tread Plus.
Okay.
Yes. In 2019, I looked up some stuff to make sure I was accurate.
That's great.
So, because I actually was able to get involved in the Tampa showroom.
Yeah.
And so I was was able to help open it, right? And get involved with Peloton, really the inner workings of it that way. And so pre-ordered the Tread Plus, and, from day one, was gravitated towards her. And I had already gravitated towards Matt Wilpers, right? He's phenomenal. So that was a natural carryover, and their coaching is just so phenomenal, right? I love the science behind it. It's real coaching. It's really going to have you progress safely. And so that was something I was really drawn to. And so just from day one, I started getting really involved in the group. And Bex was amazing. I mean, I even remember we sent her stuff from the Tampa showroom, and she was so excited and wore the Tampa Peloton shirt. Aww. And right? I know. So then it just escalated a little crazily, but yes. Yeah.
Were you working at the Tampa showroom at the time?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that one is that like so many others, like the St. Louis one that's closed at this point?
Yeah, it's closed. Yeah. It closed I think in the middle of COVID, it closed. Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you work there till the end?
I didn't because I just am kicking myself because I should have, but it's a lot. And so I'm actually a physician assistant by in real life. Okay. And so I was just doing this a little bit on the side to try to help. It's not something I intended to do. I had met them and then was just naturally in the showroom and they're like, oh no, you need to do this. We need you to sell them. Working in the mall. Okay. And then
they're like, it's cheaper to pay her hourly than to let her use her referral code.
Exactly. And then I would see patients on my other days. So it's insane. And everybody, it was, but I loved it. But it just got too much. It was too much.
Well, that's a lot because you've got, you said you have twins and of course you have your day job. So how old are your twins now?
So they're now actually Monday, they turned 16.
Oh, wow.
Both of them?
I know, right? Isn't that weird? So weird.
I can't imagine having twins because 16-year-old one at a time is a lot.
Yeah.
So,
it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Woof. Yeah. My daughter just turned 18 a few weeks ago. And so it's and now college, and it's going to be the last one going to college. It's a lot. It's a lot to do.
When we were out with them, double stroller, the whole thing, everybody's like, oh, I'd always dream of having twins. And I'd be like, no, you don't. Don't dream that. Yeah. It's horrible.
You'll wake up in a cold sweat. Right? You dream that.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, thank you.
Yes. No. So, they're amazing. They're amazing. It's been hard though. And I also feel like it's hard for them because I don't think that they, the world, I have one boy, one girl.
Okay.
So it's they don't get that individuality sometimes, right? Where they're in the same class, all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of mom guilt built in there too.
Well,
I guess they probably get more than they would if they were both the same gender.
That's true.
That's true.
Probably, it's hard to convince them of that, I'm sure.
Right.
But in my experience, it doesn't really matter what you do, you're going to experience mom guilt because there's some level of it all the time. All the time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because it's
when we were in New York and we met you in person at the Bexby's meetup, that same day, my daughter got stuck on the side of the road driving home from work. And and we had to that car has never had any issues, never given us a day of trouble. Yeah. And there was a recalled fuel pump that nobody had bothered to tell us about.
They had not told us about.
Yeah, they had not told us.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so the entire thing just completely shut down on her. But my point is, I felt so guilty for not being there, and I was doing nothing wrong, right? She's 18. Wrong. She's 18.
Yes, but we want to be there. Yes. And come on, how are these things? The one time you guys were out of town,
right? Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Do we ever find her?
I was just gonna say, how is she?
Yeah.
She's fine. She's fine. We called a tow truck. She got home. It was all good. Everything was okay.
Okay, it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah.
Because I was this has to be resolved before I go to sleep and run tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no way I could have slept. Zero.
Oh my God.
I was
that's right too. And the stress of that on top of the marathon.
Yes, I was like,
because that happened that night.
Yes, that night.
As we were sitting down to dinner.
Oh goodness.
And she was not supposed to get off work until 10:30 or 11, which would have been 11:30, 12 while we were there. And so thank God she decided to leave work early because it happened while we were at dinner. If it had, I would have probably slept through it. Talk about guilt.
Just gonna say, yes.
I'm just saying.
Because you figure too, right, yeah. And there's a point where you're like, okay, I've got to focus. I've got to turn this off.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because
not if you're a mom.
Yeah. Exactly. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. You get it. You get it.
Yep. Yep.
I am curious though how you transitioned from the bike to running? It seems like you're doing a lot of running these days. Do you still do biking, or are you completely on the running? I mean, I'm definitely in the running camp these days. So like, that's not a criticism. I'm just curious how that worked for you. Yeah.
I think I got a little burnt out on the bike, which is, I hate to say, and now I can go back to the bike and it's great. Love it. But I was doing so much of it for, I think, 4.5 years of like, doing it. And it's hard to translate that to the outdoors for somebody like me who has like zero
balance, coordination.
Yes,
that's me. So I get it.
Like, there's no way I can ride an outdoor bike, like, and not die. So,
I had to show Crystal how to ride. Had to show just me. I had to give her.
I could not push off the pedals.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I kept trying to do it when it was at the bottom of the thing, or like at the top.
Yeah.
Like I was doing it all.
And I had to convince her. I'm like, you have to have faith that the bike will work. like, because she wanted to be up and balanced and then start pedaling, and I was like, no, you gotta dive into it and just know that like
there's two wheels.
Yes.
Wheels will move.
Statistically speaking, physics are on our side. And but I do get, and it like until you've done it, it's hard to feel like that's gonna function.
Well, and it also feels like you should be able to start from any point where the wheel, wherever the pedal is, and that is not the case.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Like apparently physics doesn't.
But it's so rare that I get to give anyone a piece of athletic advice that's actually useful.
It was very useful.
And then the clip-on pedals, right?
Yes.
So then you've been clipping in, and then the thought of clipping in, clipping out in the real world, like that game over.
Well,
like,
you don't have to do that. And I will say, especially if you ever wanted to try it outside, because I have done it, and definitely practicing with regular pedals first is the best way to go.
Sure.
And then once you get that, like you feel good about it, then you put the other pedals on, and then you can get used to that. Or you can get the flippy kind, the one that's like on one side it's the clip in and one side is flat. You can do that too.
Okay.
Now, I didn't like those because they flipped over while I was riding the bike, and that scared the shit out of me, because then if you didn't mean to clip in and all of a sudden you're clipped in, that's a whole separate issue.
Different ballgame. Totally different.
But you're running now. You've done half marathons. You've done all kinds. So tell us about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did like my first like live half marathon before COVID.
Okay.
And then and I just did one locally, and I thought, well, I'm just going to try it. And it's actually it's really funny. I mean, I had no concept of really what I was doing, but I did try to like look up a plan. I tried to run outside, right? But now just looking back at it, I was a hot mess. Like, I think even after, like, I didn't know how to like, do fuel, all this kind of stuff, right? Which is now so much more advertised and out there. But I used, dried like raspberries. Like, right?
Oh.
Okay, so
I picture you eating potpourri.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
So after the race,
your breath was delightful.
What I looked like. all over, teeth, lips, like everywhere. Exactly. I did, and of course, you don't see yourself. You don't know. You're just happy you didn't die at the end of the race.
Yes.
And so I remember going up to somebody, and like they had like the cool like glasses or whatever from the race, and I was like, ooh, maybe I get a cool glass. And the lady looked at me like, honey, what's happening here? I was like, so that I mean, that's where I was. But I was like, so it really, now I feel like even the Peloton instructors are so good about, okay, now you need to fuel, now you need to do this, and these are the gels, and so it's a different world. So but that's where I was like, okay, maybe I can do something like this. But like, I finished in time where like most people are like finishing their marathons, and I'm like, I did a half, so it's fine.
Same.
But we did it.
That's
we
right.
did it, right.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, so Crystal, my goal next is to be you, right? I want to be a marathoner.
You will.
Ever thought I could ever, or so scary. But that's my next goal.
Well, do you have a certain marathon you want to do? Like, is there one year?
Yeah, I did apply for like some of the majors and I did last year too, and I didn't get in. So I feel like really it's fate. Like fate will just tell me, are you going to run a marathon or are you not? So far, fate has said no.
Fate will say yes. So
yes,
just be prepared.
See, I'm not a fan of waiting for fate to decide, which is why I say no.
So you say
like,
no?
I don't want fate to say no. I was like, no.
No.
I won't do that.
No, I will not enter. I will not. This time, though, I do think like if I don't get in, I'd pick up like an actual race that I could enter. So,
well, you can always enter one. It's just a matter of how much you want to have to do the work that goes with it, right? Because you could always, you could do New York, you could do Chicago, and put all them and then raise money. You have a lot of connections. You could do that.
Yep.
It's exhausting, though. It's exhausting.
I was just gonna say, how did you do it?
I didn't. Like I did not. And
because you got one of those.
So last year, whenever Rob Simmelcare was on, he is the CEO of the New York Roadrunners. And when we interviewed him, I remember telling him, like, this was my dream. I want to run the New York City Marathon. And he's like, there's so many ways to do it. There's like so many ways. And I was like, okay. So somebody encouraged me to email him and be like, so about those ways, like, how do I do that? That's me emailing him, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Well, and he said, message me, we'll figure, he invited that.
He did.
Okay.
And then whenever I emailed him, his assistant was like, we'll just get you a spot on the team. And so I paid for it. I paid for it and everything, but I didn't have to raise money because of that. So
that's awesome.
It was definitely awesome.
Because I don't know when you would have had the time.
I know, between everything else I was doing. And, and I feel weird going to the community about something I want to do and being like, hey, pony up the money because this is something I like. That feels weird to me. So I wasn't comfortable with that route.
Well, and good for you. Like that's amazing because a lot of other people are like, just bring it on, whatever it takes, So I mean, that's awesome.
Well, thank you. But you
and you're promoting it too.
Yes.
I mean, we all listen, right?
Yeah.
So it's totally important for them to have you on there.
Well,
so
thanks.
makes sense.
I think they're great. I've become a huge fan of the Set the Pace podcast that Bex is now on. And Rob is part of that podcast. He's the other host. So they're both great. And we were lucky enough when we were there for the marathon to watch a live taping. And they had they were at the show where they do the running thing. I can't. What is it called? The Expo. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
that was it. And Gabby Thomas was there. That's who they were interviewing. So that was really cool to see. That was really neat. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I got to see her live with the Alley on the Run.
I thought you might have seen. I thought she might have been at the MEB because you were at the Wilpers, Team Wilpers. Wasn't he there too, or she was there?
I didn't get to go to that because I had to fly in later. But she was at the Alley on the Run one.
That's awesome.
And that was awesome.
That's so cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
That weekend was full of so many fun things to do.
It was phenomenal. Tom, how did you survive that weekend? Were you okay?
Oh yeah, I just was along for the ride. Like I didn't have to do anything hard.
He's like,
when she was running the marathon, I went and saw a play. I saw half a matinee.
I was like, you got time, go watch. And then I ended up being slightly faster than I thought I was.
Yeah, so I had to leave at intermission so I could catch her at mile 19 and then again at 22. But I did. So
thank you.
You did, and you carried all the bags. You were awesome.
Yeah, when she needed to get rid of her hat, I took it.
Yes,
you did. Yeah. I saw that. That was great.
But yeah, no, I had the easy part.
Yeah, you did.
The hardest part of the weekend for me was the $200 bike taxi ride that we had after the marathon.
I'm sorry. I'm really embarrassed about that.
Don't be sorry. After the marathon is like insane.
No, she should be sorry for a $200 bike taxi ride.
Shawn is so supportive. She will support anything that I do. I love that.
I will. And Tom, after 26 miles,
maybe like
26.2.
I was just like maybe a $40 Uber ride, not a $200 bike taxi ride.
But they were right there.
I was not suggesting that she walk back to the hotel, just to be clear. I was just like, perhaps there's a more economical way for us to be transported to the hotel.
If I realized it was going to be $200, I would have agreed with you. I just thought it would be slightly more than an Uber. I did not realize it was like 4 times an Uber. That's crazy.
Well, and who knows that? Like, I wouldn't know that.
She's so nice.
Our ride to the airport was cheaper.
It was.
Both of them combined.
In fact, like, together. Yeah.
Round trip.
Yeah.
To and from.
Yeah. And maybe even one of the flights.
Yeah.
Well, technically, because we paid with points. So yeah, it was.
Well, we probably have quite a few bike taxi points now. We're one of his frequent flyers. He's probably still telling his friends about that one.
Customer right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Tell us more about what you do for the Beck's Beast community. You're on the Instagram portion too. Yeah, like that's the part you run. Okay.
And we all do like everything.
Okay.
Right? That's what's so cool about our community is like there's like no single person. We're just all there supporting each other. Anybody that like tags us or whatever, I'll try my best to get everybody out there as long as it's appropriate. But we all do it. Like there's so many of us that do it. And then the Facebook, like everybody, they post when there's new class drops or like a Feature Friday, Meadow Monday. Like that's what's so cool. There's no hierarchy. It's just, we're all there to do it, to support each other and do it together. And that's what's fabulous about it. It's really great.
I feel like that was directed at me. Somebody tags us. I like to share that if it's appropriate. Tom. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I've had to turn some down from you before. It's okay. We'll talk about it offline. Yeah. It's fine.
Our attorneys will be reaching out to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you feel like that Bex and Matt are your favorite instructors, or do you have like a whole list, or how does that work?
I do. I think I gravitate towards the one and they all are amazing, right? But Bex and Matt, right? And then Andy Spear for strength.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like they really coach the science, and just like, coming from a medical background, I see how important that is. And so that is what I like, is I do feel there is progression there. There's science behind it. There's a method to their coaching and their madness. And like, even when Bex does like fun classes or Matt does fun classes, like they'll say, I mean, Bex will often say, right, I know this is a 90s class, but we're still going to do these intervals and this is why. And I'm like, yes, that's awesome. That makes sense,
Yes.
So I think those are my favorite. Yeah, absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense.
For sure. So do you have any advice for people just entering the world of Peloton?
Oh man. It's like, so I think getting involved. So I would have said like before, years and years ago, like, oh, I didn't know how much I needed the community, but that is what makes all the difference. I think that connection, I think seeing people on the leaderboard, I think all of that is really how you stay connected, and that this doesn't become a next Tybo or Ad Master, right? Like this is something that we're still doing years and years later and feeling better because of it. I think I really think I was in a really deep, dark depression before this, and that and good meds and other things and therapy and good friends, all that. But I think the movement was a huge component of it, getting me out of it. And I know that I wouldn't be here still if it wasn't for, you guys doing this kind of stuff, listening in, like all of this. The community is by far. So I would say to somebody to get involved and be consistent. right? That's the other thing. It's hard, but consistency too.
Yeah. And just for people who might be listening who are like, well, I don't know how to get involved. Sometimes just seeing the same person's name on the leaderboard day after day after day. I mean, I can't tell you how many high fives you and I have exchanged, but we just now met for the first time this year in person, you know?
Exactly.
And so like that, I've seen your name for years. That's huge to know that like that person I know is there and they're taking the same class, whether it's live or it's on demand. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So
it doesn't matter. Yeah. Exactly. And then like to find those groups on Facebook or on Instagram, and then there's all these little, shoot offs, right? So like you can find people who always work out at the same time and then meet the same people. And that is phenomenal to me.
I agree. Good advice.
Absolutely. Well, Shawn, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. Before we let you go, let everybody know where they can find you in all the places, if, of course, you would like to be found.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm not like big on posting myself. There's like, I'm not that interesting, but I am Shawn Sarnaik on Facebook, and then Shawn Sarnaik on Instagram. And then, but the main thing where I'll post a lot is Bex Beast on Instagram and Facebook. And so to come join our group, because it's so much fun.
It is. Very friendly group.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you guys. This is amazing. Thank you both.
The Clip Out.
So I guess that brings this episode to a close until not next week, until next week.
January 3rd. And I will go ahead and tell you right now that we are airing our interview with Erica McLean. And she is doing a tarot card reading.
So become our tradition around here. It has.
I love ending the year this way and starting off the new year for Peloton. It's so fun. And we went back and did like a review of all of her...
A little report card, if you will.
Yeah. And everything she said, all the predictions she made last year. And that article will be dropping the same week. So keep your eyes peeled. We also will have a ton of articles wrapping up the end of the year, our favorite moments from Peloton in 2025. All of the TCO helper bees are working on end of the year articles.
Awesome. Well, until then, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on all the other socials, including Blue Sky at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. And you can find me on the Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, all the things. And of course, don't forget our Patreon. A pretty huge bonus episode this week, I think, based on the list.
We're going to go record.
We're going to go do that right now after I pee.
Okay.
So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next year, keep pedaling
and running
and rowing.
Bye.